Farmers today are facing rising costs, volatile markets, and extreme weather. The A Better Way to Farm podcast digs into strategies to help you take control of farm inputs and maximize profit so your farm can thrive for generations. Remember to take advantage of our free resources at abetterwaytofarm.com. Now, from America's Heartland, here's your host.
Welcome to today's episode of the A Better Way to Farm podcast. Our goal here is to increase yield, improve profits, and make life better all the way around. I am super excited about the episode today. I have a great friend who has taken time from his busy schedule to share with us, and I'd like to welcome to the call my good friend Sam. Sam, thank you for being on with us.
Hey, Rod. Thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity.
Well, this is a real pleasure to get to talk to you. I get to spend quite a bit of time with you here through the winter, and I always enjoy the time we get to talk. But tonight, I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about. Let's open up with, Sam, how did you get acquainted with A Better Way to Farm?
So I farm in north central Iowa, corn and soybeans with my dad and I. I'm a sixth generation farmer, and we were having some production issues, and we weren't having the answers. We were struggling to find the answers. And my first encounter with A Better Way to Farm was a friend of mine shared a Facebook video, and it was a guy who had posted his results who had been working with you guys for the first year. And it was just of a yield monitor. Nothing about anything about what you did, but that yield monitor was showing his corn was about 100 bushel over where we were. And all I knew was that was where we needed to be. Not where we wanted, but it was where we needed to be. And so it was kind of a Hail Mary. It was a last chance kind of thing for our farm. But I reached out to see what it was all about. And I began the conversation with you guys and the team. And we attended our first fundamentals of agronomy trainings there in Ankeny back in 2020. And we've just been going forward and going up ever since.
Well, that's fantastic. Let's talk about the results side of things. You've been, so 2020 was your first growing season with us, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So tell me about how your life changed between 19 and 20, Sam.
Well, the big thing was, and it was not an overnight flash in the pan for us. What I did was I waited too long to go to that meeting because I wanted to go to the one that was the closest to my backyard, and it didn't give me enough time to prepare because we weren't set up for anything. But what happened was when we went to that meeting, the worst thing about having those production issues with our farm was that not knowing where to go. We'll put the work in, we'll do the deal, but we need to know that we're working towards an end goal. And the problem was we weren't having those answers. And when we went to the fundamentals of agronomy course, and we started to learn how to actually read a soil test and what it meant to do some of these things to improve efficiencies and the importance of the different kinds of fertilizers, all of a sudden I got excited again for the first time because I was like, hey, now here are some things that I feel like I can go ahead and reach for. Here are some things that I can go ahead and work towards that we haven't done before. And so I knew it wasn't going to be. I knew we had a lot of things we had to work through, and that was true. But every year just got better and better and better. And so it gave us a renewed purpose, and it gave us a renewed drive, which we needed very badly.
So there's been a lot of benefits to this, aside from the financial, just in general attitude and fun of farming again.
Oh, without a doubt. I always say the worst part of it was that, I get to farm with my dad and my grandpa, and we love to do so. We get along very well. And we love what we do, just like so many family farms. But I said the worst part was that we hated the job that we loved so much. Just because you had the feeling of failure. We didn't understand what was going wrong. We were working our hardest, and it just wasn't reflecting that. And so really by getting proper guidance and education, it allowed us to really start to be the farmers we knew we were and that we knew we could be.
Well, that's fantastic. So you've been using the products for 5 or 6 growing seasons here, be 6, I guess, with starting in 20. And the results have been good there. Somewhere along the line, Sam, you made a decision that you not only were going to use the products, but then you started to share the products with other people. Tell us about that journey. Why did you start that? How did you start that?
So obviously when we started things off, and I'm always unashamed when I tell people that, when I started, we needed the cash flow. And I knew I didn't want to go and do something that completely took me away from the farm because the farm needed a whole lot of attention. The farm needed my time, but I needed to really help dig myself out of a hole. And once we started down this road with you guys, I really started to see, like I said, all of the benefits that the team had to offer. Just like when we first reached out, when it came to working with you guys just from the farming aspect, I didn't know everything that would entail, working with other growers. But I knew that this team was a big deal to us on our farm. And I remember thinking to myself, man, if I could help just one family farm, if I can just help one grower the way that we were helped, that's a big deal. That's a family that's going to be able to continue to do what they love that they weren't otherwise. And so that was just kind of that leap of faith that I took. I love the values of this company. I love the culture, and I love the products, and I love the results. And so why would I not want to go forward with this opportunity?
You said something earlier. There was a lot of advantages to reaching out. Talk to us about the transition into it, because I think that when someone thinks they're going to get involved in marketing or get involved in sales, inherently most of us react and tense up inside. Is that a safe thing to say?
Yeah, naturally. Yep.
I mean, I don't think you woke up and go, boy, I can't wait to go be a salesman. I love to farm. That's what I want to do, right?
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden you made the transition, and now all of a sudden you're working with the team. What is it about working with the team that makes that transition? You've done a great job, Sam. Those of us who know you are astounded by your accomplishments. You do a great job of helping so many people, and you've been very successful at that. But what is it that's enabled you to do that and make it look so easy?
I got behind the mission. The mission of this team is to help the American farmer. I don't know how many countless trainings and different things, and it's never been fancy sales calls or anything. Everything revolves around how do we help the growers who reach out to us find and solve problems. And so, Mason, who was another fantastic member of our team, he laughs when he says, yeah, I get to be compensated for bragging about my yields, right? And I mean, really, that's just, yes, we're in sales, and yes, that's what, pays the bills, but I'm talking about farming, and that's my passion, and that's all of our passions, right? We're just working together to help people who are in the same industry as we are, that we all love so much. And so that has just, the training, all of it, when you're able to get behind the mission of something like that, it all just becomes easier, and your belief and your conviction is just through the roof.
You've prompted so many thoughts in my brain all at the same time. I want to talk first about the training.
Sure.
Talk to us about how important because I tell everybody, Sam, would you agree, from the day you start, there is a training for every step of the way. Is that a safe thing to say?
Oh, without a doubt. Absolutely.
You got started, we did the fundamentals of agronomy because you got to learn how to use it before you can do anything else with it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you did that, and then we started an intro into business building, and we went to another training for that. But talk about the specific training that the team does, in particular, Kayla and Karen and some of you guys who are doing so well, take turns doing that. Talk to us about how frequent are those trainings and how are they helping the brand new person? Because you've seen brand new people come in this and flourish, right?
Quickly, rapid pace.
Very
Absolutely.
quickly. And tell me about, how has that training played into that? How has that empowered those people? Why is this working so well for so many new people?
Well, because you're never isolated, and and you have the confidence and the conviction of knowing that you have a team behind you. So our team has a weekly huddle, we call it. We are farmers, and it's great to see because, we're in the tractors, we're in the semis, we're, working cattle and different things like that, and people all across the country. But every week we're touching base to talk about where we're going and some things that we can implement to help more growers, to do some things that can really help solve the growers' problems better. And that kind of, when I said that, like, I was so sold on your guys' culture, on this company's culture, it shows that it's like we're not just a name or a number to this team. The team invests Kayla, Karen, they invest so heavily into my family and into my business. And for the only reason for that is because they want to see me succeed. And it's that way for everybody. And so that is really, we want it to be as simple as possible for when the person says yes. And that is, it's like, yes, I want to pursue this. Awesome. Here's the next steps. You're never alone. It's never go figure it out. We have to put in the work. We have to go talk to the people. We're not going to do it for you. Right? One of my favorite quotes was, we'll walk with you, we'll run with you, but I'm not going to sit down with you. right? So we got to
Good.
do the work, but you will be enabled and you will be trained and you will be assisted and supported and cheered on every step of the way.
For me, this past Tuesday, we were all in Bloomington. Not all of us. There were 20 some of us in one little room in Bloomington, Minnesota. And that was a great time because it was just kind of like a family reunion. All people crammed in that room, Kale leading the huddle with the other people that were on the Zoom call. And it was a great opportunity for everybody to leave there energized. And I think the power of the team, I don't know about you, Sam, but for me, like I'm sitting in St. Louis tonight and I just got done eating dinner with a bunch of people. And I leave that feeling so energized because I get to hang out with all these people who are positive and they're like-minded and they're talking about the future. They're not complaining about the past. They're not arguing about the news. But I know that group that I just had dinner with, they're all out here making a difference. How important is that part of this to you?
Well, it just goes back to the importance of your well-being and everything with this. As far as there are trials and there are difficulties in this life, right? It has not been all sunshine and rainbows since I joined the team. That's farming. There's adversity to overcome. Every conversation I always have, it's always future bound. It's always future bound with this team about, just like what you said, where are we going and how can we get there and what are the dreams? And when we do that, when we focus on hope and we focus on the positive, because there's so much good. There's so much good in this industry. There's so many things to be excited for that allows you to show up for people better, but it also helps you, like I said, to be excited to go be the best farmer that you could possibly be. And that goes through all areas of life because we love farming because we love our families. That's who we are. And then when you are able to show up for your family, when I'm able to show up for my wife and my two kids with a better positive mindset, when I'm able to lead my family in that way, it makes the world a difference, way deeper than even the family farm.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things, and I want to see if you agree with this, Sam, but one of the things is I get people that go, well, I've never sold, and I was at a function and there was somebody new to the team, and we've got new people coming on all the time. And so you've got people who are, been doing this for 5 years or 10 years, and people have been doing this for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And one of the new people asked the question, how many of you were salesmen before you joined this team? And one person raised their hand. And there was like 30 people in the room. That really drove it home to me. When I'm talking to a new person that might be wanting to join the team to market and to develop a business, my credo is I just say the really smooth, high pressure salesman with $1,000 suits. Sam, how many of those do we have on our team?
None. And if they show up, they usually don't last too long.
Correct. That's my point. They don't stay here because they don't fit. That's not the culture.
Absolutely.
When I was with you yesterday, weirdly enough, seems like a week ago, but yesterday, and it was a bunch of people wearing boots and jeans and maybe a tweed coat, or some kind of a sport coat. And that's about as dressed up as we get at these fundamentals of agronomy. And it's just people who are all farmers, who are all passionate about agriculture, who love their families, who love the Lord and want to do the right things. And it's just, for me, I'm looking, the perfect candidate is the guy who can channel first or second grade when it was their day to play show and tell, Sam. And you had a pet rock or a pet frog, or you got to bring your dog or whatever it was, and you played show and tell. You had that enthusiasm. And as I look at the people on our team, like yourself and all the others who are so tremendously successful, I feel like that's what they do. And is that what you feel like you do on a daily basis?
Oh, absolutely. And it's authentic. It's true. People reaching out and we're talking to growers who are saying that, hey, this dry fertility, this cost is sky high, $900 per ton DAP. It's not cutting it, right?
Hey.
Or how do I reduce the amount of nitrogen without cutting my yield? Because I have to bushel out of this. And it's amazing to say, look, this is your business. You can do what you want. And I found it on my farm that this is really a very powerful system that has really changed the game for us. And if you'd be interested in learning more about it, I'd be happy to tell you about it because it is the real deal. I mean, that's all this is. And that's why I love this team. And that's why I love the opportunity because it's true and it's authentic. I never have to feel like I'm compromising my morals or doing anything. It is this system. This team saved our family farm. I said I'm sixth generation. I mean, that's a legacy that runs deep. And that's a weight that I know so many in this country are carrying right now. And why would I not want to just shout that from the mountaintop and to get this message and to get this opportunity out to as many people as possible.
Exactly right. Talk to me about the future, Sam. Where do you see your own? First, let's talk about your farming operation. What's the future look
Sure.
like for your farm?
You know, I'm just going to say options because I love doing that. But I say the goal of this whole thing is to be profitable so that we can farm the way we want to. I have good friends of mine who have their minds and their dreams set on expansion, and I want that for them so badly, but I want it to be profitable. You know, scale it in a good way to where you don't over leverage yourself and we don't get in trouble. But I also have people that say, I don't want the extra machinery. You know, I just want it to stay me and dad. You know, we're kind of in that boat. We're a very tight knit group. But to be able to make enough money per acre to where you don't feel like you have to go farm another 2,000 acres because these margins are so razor thin. And that comes with a whole other set of different headaches. And so all I know is that all we're competing against is ourselves. But Rod, from where we started with you these last 2 years, we've been anywhere from on different fields, anywhere from 60 to 75 bushel on our corn above our APH when we started.
Wow.
It's not trophy wins or anything like that. And that's what pays the bills. And that's what gives us options. Guess what? We had a lot of machinery breakdowns this year. A lot. We paid our due. But I talked to you and I laughed. I said, well, having a broke down combine in a 78 bushel bean field is a whole lot better than having a broke down combine in a 45 bushel bean field. You know, and that's just what it is. It takes the weight off of it. And you know that, again, there's adversity here, but we're able to handle it. And we're able to go forward and to really be able to build this life and live this life the way that we want to.
That's awesome. I love that. So let's switch gears. Let's talk about the future of your other business, of your marketing business, of what you're doing with the team. What does that look like for you, Sam?
The future and the possibilities, when I say are endless, I mean, that's not even giving it proper credence, I guess you could say. The future, we are having so much interest of young people, young growers wanting to do better, wanting to come into this operation, wanting to assist in their farming operation, wanting to come into this business, be a part of this culture, be a part of this solution that we can offer to people. This is the best business model that I have ever found for me personally to be able to scale quickly and efficiently, all while being able to not only have blessings for my family, but give blessings to other families as well. And that's very important to Paige and I as a Christian family. That's a big deal to us. And so, again, we're focused on the positive. I'm excited for the future of agriculture, and I am so excited about the future of this business. This business, in a matter of, I'm going to say 2.5 years, this grew far past what our initial goal or dream ever was. Every year we have to realign what our dreams are because it's almost like a new reality. And I say, don't put God in a box. You know, don't look at the future based off of our current happenings and circumstances, but look at it from the future and the promise and how big our God is, you know, and look at it from that line of prosperity, because this life is too good. This life is too full of opportunity and excitement to live it on cruise control. And so I am grateful every day that I get to work 2 jobs that I love so much, and that I get to be in complete control of my schedule. I get to provide for my family, and I get to farm with my family. God is good.
That is an awesome life. That really is. Sam, one last thing. There's somebody new listening to this podcast today. They're driving their tractor, they're choring the cows, they're doing whatever it is. What do you say to the guy that goes, man, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I ought to reach out, because I'm going to give them a way to reach out here in a minute. What do you say to that guy that's just like, I don't know if I should reach out? What do you say to him?
I say, stop thinking that way, because I didn't know anything. There were a million reasons for me not to reach out as well. But if that little voice in the back of your head, just that interest, just see, it's not a pressure. There's no obligations or anything like that. My family's legacy, and so many that I've seen this replicated, has changed because of a simple phone call. Is it not worth that? Right? Is the future of the farming operation and potentially just this life that we've always felt called to live, is it not worth taking that phone call? I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to believe in who you were made to be, and I want you to know that who you are and your experiences and what you're going through right now can help other people. And guys, there's such a need for that. We have to come together in agriculture. We have to work together and not be competitors, but be allies with each other to help each other to succeed, to raise each other up, because we're all doing this for the same reason. And we love American farm. And that is how, guys, that is how we are going to really change families. That's how we're going to help save the family farms. And so it's a really long answer for me to say, just please pick up the phone and call.
So there you go. Please pick up the phone and call. Guys, Sam, first of all, thank you for your time, man. I know you got a lot going on, and I'm just grateful that you would take the time with us tonight. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. It's an honor, Rod. And again, I'm just, for everybody who's listening to this, we appreciate you taking the time to listen. And I hope to be meeting you in person at an event here really, really soon.
We just want to say thank you for giving us the time, for tuning into the podcast. We hope that you find great value in it. If you're interested in figuring out how to get a hold of us, you can always send Karen a text at 641-919-5570. We look forward to talking to you really soon. We thank you for your time. We do want you to reach out. As Sam said, pick up the phone, give us a call, give us a text, reach out and get your questions answered. And we would love to meet you soon and have you be one of the new people joining the team, and in 2.5 years be doing the same things that Sam and a whole host of other people are doing. And we look forward to talking to you soon.
If you're a farmer who wants to increase income, simplify your operation, and build something that lasts way beyond the upcoming season, then we have a webinar for you. Our team is helping farmers and helping more and more new clients step into our farmer dealer network without adding any chaos to their plate. You'll hear directly from 2 growers on our team who started right where you are, learned how to jump on board, and created more freedom for their farms and families. If you're interested in joining us, you can text the word dealer to 641-919-5570. We still have a few seats left and you can snag yours.
Thank you, guys. And as always, we hope you're having a better day.